Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University, this is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7. I'm Jasleen Salinas with Griffin Bloomstein and Timmy Weiss. And guys, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's been a busy week. Things are starting to ramp up schedule-wise.
That's right.
But it was a little chilly today, but I think that actually helps. It sets the tone for the week. It's only Tuesday. We got a little chillier day. We're moving into that winter weather, but it sets the tone. You got to be ready for that winter weather.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of the cold tone. I was really, really soaking up the sun these last few days.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, I'm feeling good, guys, but one problem right now is that I'm trying to figure out my schedule and unfortunately haven't been able to get in my classes. So on the break of the shows today, we're going to have to be very active on my schedule builder to make sure I can get into some classes, hopefully, because, well, we have to put school first, right? Hopefully.
School first.
Timmy was struggling getting into his classes. Another team that's a little in the struggle bus right now is Syracuse football.
That's right.
A tough 37-31 loss to Boston College, a game many thought Syracuse would win, would set the tone for them going into the last 3 games of the season. What stood out to you, Jazz, about that loss in particular?
Honestly, overall, it was just a disappointing game. Although Syracuse was up at one point, and maybe I thought we could clutch a win, I just was totally disappointed by the way overall that we played. But on the bright side, we do have bowl eligibility still. So I'm kind of holding on to that. I think this game was a little rocky. Obviously, it was a tough loss and disappointing and all of that, but we still have that. So honestly, I'm trying to just look ahead. I just want to forget the past.
That's true, Jazz, and you are right that we still have bowl eligibility, but the question is as Syracuse fans right now, are we happy about that? Is just bowl eligibility okay? And after a loss to BC, a team that you're supposed to beat, it just feels a little disappointing. Like you said, I feel disappointed as a Syracuse fan. I thought they were going to win the game. And when you lose to a team, BC is not a great football team. They're okay.
BC was favored. Syracuse, with this too much talent on the roster, that is a game they should win. It was a toss-up, especially having it be in Chestnut Hill. I just think there's too much talent on this roster and too much hype with Fran Brown. You can't go from a big win against Virginia Tech, a game that Dino Babers wouldn't have won, and then
got crushed by it too.
Well, and then go to Boston College and say, all right, we're changing the swing of things. This is a new Syracuse November football team. The November struggles in the past are gone, and then you lose to Boston College, and it was pretty ugly down the stretch. One of the big play I think that changed all the momentum was that safety. When Kyle McCord got the ball stripped from his hands, BC got those 2 points. They went down and scored. That's 9 free points. Syracuse, if they went on and scored, they would have been up a possession. Instead, they're down 2.
You know what's interesting, too, about that safety is it should have been a touchdown, except the BC player happened to just kick the ball through the end zone, so it was a safety, and it turned into 9 points instead of just 7 points, which is honestly pretty crazy to think about.
Syracuse would have been better off if BC just scored a touchdown.
Literally, yes, which is crazy.
But with this loss and with that said, I still think that there are high hopes for Syracuse football. I think that if we can just keep moving forward and possibly end with an 8-win season, I would call this Fran Brown era success. I would be okay with, taking this BC loss, moving forward. We have Cal coming up. That's definitely a toss-up. But if we could take that, and if we could overtake UConn here in the Dome, I think that Fran Brown's era would be successful, and I think this BC loss could kind of be forgotten in the past.
Yeah, if you would have told me before the season that Syracuse football would have gone 8-4, I would have said, okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
I probably don't think it's going to happen.
Would have doubted, definitely.
But now it almost seems like 8-4 is a disappointment because you had a great start to the season. You could have beat Stanford. If you beat Stanford, 8-4 is a disappointment. And so I know there's a lot of talent on this team, and with already 3 losses, you can only afford 1 more if you want that 8 wins. And so I think Cal's going to be a tough game. You have to fly all the way to the West Coast, play a West Coast team. That's never easy. And then you got Miami in the last game of the season. UConn's actually been a pretty solid team this year.
They're a lot better than the UConns of the past. They're not a total pushover, yes.
I still think 8 wins would be good. I think it's going to be a little harder to get there, though.
I think 8 wins, like you said before the season, if you said that to someone, a Syracuse football fan, you'd say, okay, that's yeah, that's totally reasonable. That's, you have a new head coach, Fran Brown. Having an 8-4 season, that's a significant improvement from last year.
I don't know if reasonable is the right
I think you
word.
guys are being way too hard on this team. I think this is a new team, although very talented, new coaching staff. I think an 8-4 season is more than good.
Oh, it is.
I think it's very successful, and I think Syracuse fans should take that and be very happy at the end of the season.
It's good, but given the talent and given the opportunities, it's almost disappointing that Syracuse hasn't been able to string out a couple more wins. You could have easily won both the Stanford game and the Boston College game, and then you're only sitting with one loss. There's so many missed opportunities, and that's been the case for Syracuse in the past recent years. They can't take advantage of close, easy games, and that comes to bite them in the dust and when it matters most.
That's exactly why I agree with Griffin on this, is because you could easily have just one loss. And if you had just one loss right now, I mean, we're talking about the ACC championship all of a sudden, which would obviously be a stretch given what this team has done this year, but that's how fine the Lions have been this season.
I think if Syracuse ends up going 7-5, that's still a 1-game improvement than last season.
I don't think that's good enough, though.
8-4 is now a 2-game improvement. I think that is good enough for this new era, Fran Brown, new players. I think that's. I don't know. I think that's. I'm satisfied.
Okay.
I'm happy.
I think enough with the what ifs. Let's go with what we know, and that's our Darty Awards. The detailed, accountable, relentless, tough, and yikes. Timmy, you got us with detailed?
I got us with detailed, and guys, I got to go with Aronde Gadsden. OG, he put up his first good game and a bit of a second. I mean, his last over 100 yards game this season was against number 25 UNLV when he had over 140 yards and a touchdown. He didn't have a touchdown against UNLV actually, but the reason that he was detailed against Boston College was because of the touchdown that he had against the Eagles.
That was a great catch.
Please, if you haven't watched the touchdown, I really encourage you, go to YouTube and watch the touchdown. This guy somehow turns around. It was a 17-yard catch into the end zone. He turns around, and the ball literally glued to his hand. One-hand catch. I don't know how. Maybe he has really big hands or something. Because the ball literally glued to his hand. And it was one of the best catches I've seen this year,
That
honestly.
was a great description. I feel like I am like replaying it again if I close my eyes.
Yeah, that was impressive one-on-one catch. That was a big catch in the time because Syracuse could have used another one of those down the line, but that did not happen.
Yeah.
Accountable.
I gotta agree with detailed. Moving on to accountable, I think we always go between the toss-up of Kyle McCord, Fran Brown in these post-game, conferences, and I have to give it to Fran Brown again, but not in a positive light. He is constantly taking this accountability role, saying, it's all on me. I've got it, guys. I'm sorry. It's just always I'm sorry. So I'm giving this accountability award, but it's not necessarily in a positive light at all.
I have to agree. I think this is a bad loss for Syracuse, and although it was close, I'll give them that. And some might even argue that the onside kick that Syracuse recovered, but then got penalized with a weird penalty, they had a chance to win. I think it just stinks that every game we have to talk about Fran Brown and accountable. It's just
By
like
the way,
another
do you guys
deja vu.
Have you guys seen the video of Fran Brown in the press conference?
Oh, wait. Don't mention this. We'll get to it.
All right, we'll get to it. All right, we'll get to it.
All right, let's move over to Relentless.
Relentless. I've got Kyle McCord here. I know some people are down on Kyle McCord because you mentioned the fumble. But Kyle McCord had his most passing yards in a game this season against BC. Pretty shockingly, obviously they lost the game and everything. He had 392 passing yards. And
Stat padding, that's what that's called.
But the reason I give him relentless is because against VT, he had his first game where he went under 300 passing yards. So you might call it stat padding or whatever.
And they won against VT. Might need to throw the ball.
And you're wrong. Maybe they need to throw the ball a little less. Maybe they need to give it to LeQuint. That's a problem for another day. But bounce back week from McCord stat-wise. He had a really season-high game. So
I feel like Griffin's itching to just counteract that.
Well, it's just like when Syracuse handed the ball off to LeQuint Allen 100 times and he rushed for over 100 yards, it worked. They got to win. You go back to the air raid, 48 attempts. They didn't win. So I don't know. Key to success might not be pass the ball 50 times a game, but
Speaking of the passing game and the running game, on to tough. And I'm not sure if you guys remember in our first show, but I
sure do.
gave the tough award to LaQuinn Allen.
tough.
And I'm going to give it again because you literally just mentioned this running game, securing 2 touchdowns in this BC game. He was the bright spot on the field. And for that, I'm giving him this tough award.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't think there's much to be said. Quinn Allen's a dog, safe
Yeah.
to say. So he definitely deserves the tough award. I'm going to go yikes. Now, we talked about the press conference. I'm going to say the locker room / anyone who lives with Fran Brown is a yikes. Not in the bad way, but after the game in a press conference, he said he doesn't like to shower after a loss. And that clip went viral. Now, I am not Fran Brown. I do not support or endorse these habits. I think hygiene is very important, but not showering after a loss might be
The biggest yikes.
That's a massive.
Now I also had a
yikes.
real answer for you. The defense and defensive coordinator Elijah Robinson. Syracuse has given up 109 points in the past 3 games. That is a lot.
That is a lot.
Virginia Tech, they were out there without their starting quarterback and their starting running back, and they still gave up 30-plus points. That is not good. BC rushed for 313 yards. They didn't pass the ball that much. They ran the ball 313 yards. That's a lot. Syracuse's defense, halfway through, they probably should have expected that. I would have liked some accountability, some adjustments out of Elijah Robinson after halftime. They're supposed to be loaded on defense. I just think Syracuse can step it up, and that's our yikes for today.
Definitely.
Well, we're coming up on a quick break here on Newhouse Afternoon. When we come back, we have a big basketball game here in the 315 tonight. Syracuse and Colgate will preview that right around the corner.
Oh my God.
You, Jordan.
Pulling that one in.
I was gonna mention that like his wife won't get into bed with him at night because he doesn't shower. But I didn't get a chance to.
Well, I mean,
I think we can all agree that
it was a little crazy. I saw that. I saw it on
Bleacher Report. I saw it on Bleacher Report.
Barstool, I think I saw it, and I was like, well, this is definitely going to get mentioned.
Yeah.
I think hygiene's important.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
we were
it's
gonna bring
very
that up. That's
important.
crazy.
Anyone in the
Have you
chat
seen the video?
on Twitch think Syracuse
so
is going to lose today? Any thoughts? We'll save our predictions for
Yeah,
when we get back on air, but I wonder to see what the chat is thinking.
Chat.
Interesting
I
chat.
wonder if my boy on Colgate's gonna play tonight.
Who's your friend on Colgate?
Cooper Wright. He probably won't play.
Did you
Right.
high school?
Oh, I went to high school with him, yeah.
That's so cool.
Great kid.
Is he
Didn't play last
RH?
year. Yeah,
Did he play last season? I'm assuming no.
not really.
So, Edward, how we doing?
Good.
All right, if anyone doesn't know,
Oh, that's mean.
Timmy's real name is Edward. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that
Jazz didn't even
crazy.
know that until like yesterday.
Yeah,
A lot of people
I
don't
had
know.
no idea.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but
Shout out Edward.
shout out.
What's crazy is you go from Edward to Timothy to Timmy. Like,
Correct.
why not stop at Timothy? I think that's a great
Who
name.
goes by Timothy?
Timothy with an E or with a Y?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Come on now.
Not Timothy Chalamet?
Nah. No.
I'm not. See, I'm not really nervous for this Colgate game. I think Syracuse can get the job.
I think they
done.
win too, but we'll save the predictions. So, yeah, we'll save those predictions.
Alrighty.
Are you going to bring us back in?
Yeah, I can bring us back in.
Word. Do you want to do the sponsor?
Yeah.
Nice.
Syracuse is 86 on Ken Palm.
What's our... We kind
Really?
of went over and...
Not bad.
That's very bad.
Well, but like from what I expected, I thought they would
86.
be worse. After the 4-point win against Des Moines, I thought they'd be worse.
Well,
I don't know.
Syracuse is tough.
Where's
When do we-
Colgate? Where's Colgate?
Colgate's like 200.
Damn. What? That's crazy.
They are not as good as they were last year. Or the year before.
Although they were picked to finish first place in the Patriot League.
They were?
Yes.
Fun fact.
Might mention that.
You can mention that.
I will.
He will.
Yeah.
When do we want to bring this back in or take it out?
I'll just figure it out.
Okay.
I'll do some math.
Perfect.
No one's chatting.
No one?
We could chat it up. Guys,
What should we
Timothy
chat about?
hates Christmas in November. Let's talk about it.
Well, like, I just believe that you should wait to play Christmas music until after Thanksgiving.
I think when
because
it's
it then sounds
cold-
better.
I think when it's cold, you're in Christmas vibe. Like, that's how I keep up my spirits
It
when
hasn't
I'm
really been cold yet, though.
freezing.
Well,
Today was
like the
freezing. And you
first
know
day.
what? I listen to Christmas music on the way to class.
Jess
Well,
is also
you
from
can-
California, so cold to her is probably like
Yeah,
40
it's facts.
degrees.
And it's
That's a
it's
good
like
point.
it's
like
44 degrees.
That's pretty average. To
That's-
warm. It's
that's
honestly probably
cold.
pretty warm right now.
Yeah, 40's chill.
But the wind, you cannot lie. The wind is
in
bad.
Syracuse is not the greatest. I will give you
Well,
that.
you can blame my parents because my mom taught me to only listen to Christmas music after November. And she loves Christmas
It is
music.
November.
So.
Oh, into December, you mean?
I just, like, my family and I put up the Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving, but, like, Christmas music, movies, like, I think when it's cold and it's chilly and it's cloudy, make a cup of, like, hot chocolate. And you
could
can,
go
like,
for a
watch
hot.
a
You could go for a
movie.
hot chocolate. Like I wouldn't have a problem with that. Like
And
before
Christmas music.
Thanksgiving. I just think after
I think I'm just
Thanksgiving.
already in the
After
Christmas spirit.
Thanksgiving.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today, broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back into ESPN Radio Syracuse 97.7 and QSportsTalk.com. We have Newhouse Afternoon up until 3 o'clock. Griffin Bloomstein, Jasleen Salinas, and Timmy Weiss. This hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero. Go to dvoffers.com for more info. Well, Syracuse basketball and Colgate square up in the Dome. A 7 p.m. tip-off tonight. The second game of the regular season for the Orange. And this has been a matchup that has played 165 times.
That's crazy.
Tonight
That's crazy.
is number 176. But the last loss before 2021 was 1962. They lost 2021. They lost in 2022. And they had to overcome a 24-point deficit last season to come back. One of the largest comebacks in the ACC history.
What a game, by the way.
What a game. I was
What a
there.
game. I also was there.
We were probably there together.
Yes, might have been.
But this is a different Colgate team. Braden Smith, their point guard from last season, transferred to Gonzaga. This is a team that has made the NCAA tournament in 2019, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. But it's a different Colgate squad. Are they still going to keep up with the Orange?
Well, it's interesting because, this is still a team that was picked to finish first place in the Patriot League. But you have to remember, it's the Patriot League. I mean, it's not like the ACC or the SEC or something. It's the Patriot League. So that means, they're going up against not the best competition. They might be first place. But I still expect Syracuse to win this one because Colgate, 1-on-1, they lost to Drexel
Yeah, it was pretty bad
by
loss.
17 points. Drexel? Like, that is not a good team.
Timmy, where's Drexel?
Not a good
Drexel's
look.
in Pennsylvania.
Ooh,
Come
there
on,
we go.
Philadelphia. My uncle and aunt went to Drexel.
Oh,
Actually,
you got
so-
connections then.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Besides the point, though. But
Well, there's a tease of our trivia coming up later in the show.
Well, I think I am pretty hopeful in the Orange tonight. I think that Syracuse can take the win against Colgate. Just stepping back to last week on that 4-point win versus Lemoyne, I think that's definitely not what we wanted to see. But I think the only kind of adjustments that I would particularly point out would be the defense. And I think if we can come in tonight and show more depth, I think we can pull a win against Colgate. And I think we could, honestly, not a blowout or anything like that, but definitely more than a 4-point win that we saw against Lemoyne last week.
yeah, I think there's no doubt the defense is the main point of emphasis for this game. Colgate is a team historically, at least over the last couple years, that has shot the 3-ball extremely well. And that's something that Lemoyne did really well against Syracuse in the first game of the season. So can you limit the threes from Colgate today? Can the defense do a better job? because it's going to come down to that if you want to win this game. Hold Colgate to getting under 80. You can't let them score more than 80 points, I think, honestly.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, Timmy. Syracuse is in the ACC. Colgate's in the Patriot League. So the physicality should be on another level for Syracuse compared to Colgate. So I think as long as the first game struggles are behind them, Syracuse should be the more physical team. They should have the defense on lock. I'm a little more worried about Syracuse's offense. Now, this Syracuse team has a lot of offensive threats, starting with their starting lineup. And I think what we saw in the Colgate game, or in the Lemoyne game, that I don't think will continue is Eddie Lampkin's struggles. Eddie Lampkin picked up his second foul early in the first quarter. He got subbed out. Jair Davis came in, and we saw Jair Davis do a really good job. But Eddie Lampkin is almost that second playmaker besides Jaquan Carlos in that starting lineup. He can facilitate. He draws a lot of attention down low and kicks out for those threes. But against Lemoyne, the threes were not falling. Just 4 of 22. Chris Bell didn't have his great stuff. No one really behind the arc had a good or great performance. So I think today, if the shots fall, I think Syracuse will win, and I think they will win big.
Yeah, that was interesting. Adrian Autry, after the game, he said, we were not making the shots that we normally make. And they still scored 86 points. It might have been against Lemoyne, but they still scored 86 points even when they weren't shooting well. Just 4 of 22 from 3. I think if Chris Bell and J.J. Starling get hot today, I think that's the key to win. I mean, you have to rely on those two guys to really take you past this Colgate team. Those are the veterans on the squad. They need to show up, and when they weren't having their best games against Lemoyne, it was pretty obvious, and I mean, they wouldn't have won without Jair Davis. So.
Going back, Griff, to what you said about Lampkin, I think that although he had his struggles last week in the Lemoyne game, we saw Davis step up off the bench, and I think that was kind of nice to see. And I think going into tonight, we now know, okay, Lampkin and Davis are both capable to show up for Syracuse. So I think that I kind of have this sort of like sense of relief that there's like multiple players that can show up for the Orange.
Yeah, and it's not just multiple players, but multiple big men. And Syracuse has 3 really good dynamic big men in Jair Davis, Eddie Lampkin, and Donnie Freeman. And you saw a lot of times Adrian Autry put 2 of them together on the floor, which I like to see. I like that size down low, that presence, but they're also versatile. I mean, Jair Davis scored the ball, rebound the ball. Donnie Freeman, he shot a 3. He made a 3 against Lemoyne. He also has the range from mid-range. He's a versatile player. Same thing with Eddie Lampkin. He can facilitate, he can score, and he can get low in the post. That's something that Syracuse just didn't have last season. Malik Brown was playing the 5. He's already an undersized 5. And then you had Justin Taylor sometimes playing at the 4. Now with Syracuse having 2, at most of the times, 2 big men and 2 really good big men down low, it just adds a whole new factor for Syracuse's offense, but also its defense and its presence in the paint.
Do you guys think that Jair Davis will play as much as he did last game? I mean, he had obviously a historic day. He had the most points and rebounds for a new player at Syracuse. The first time someone has done this since Carmelo Anthony. I mean, it's hard not to see why he doesn't keep playing a lot of minutes. Obviously, Eddie Lampkin, you expected him to be the guy that's going to play more, but I don't know. I mean, after that game, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Davis is going to be on the floor more than we think. I don't know as much as last week against Lemoyne, but I think he's going to show up a lot. He's not like this flashy player, and like you said, you think of that physicality on the court, you kind of think of Lampkin, but Davis showed up and he made his presence known, and not in a flashy way, but he's so reliable in offense and defense. So I think he's going to have honestly quite a bit of minutes tonight.
I agree in a sense. I still think Lampkin will be your starter, but Syracuse doesn't have a true 6th man, but I think Davis can build himself into that role. Him and Peter Majstorovic were the 2 first people to check in at the same time against Lemoyne. Now, if you look at the box score, Syracuse's depth, they played a decent amount of players, but not all of them played significant minutes. Davis was the only player that played over 15 minutes on the bench, and he played 26. Now, partially of that was because Lampkin only played 19, but with depth like Syracuse has this year. And another thing we haven't talked about yet is that Chance Westry is playing for the first time this season.
Really?
There's reports from Mike Waters and John Rothstein that that Chance Westry is going to suit up for the first time in a Syracuse jersey. He transferred before last season from Auburn. Didn't play.
He didn't play there either. He was injured.
Yeah.
So
he played a little bit, but not significant time. He also got injured. So this is the first time Syracuse fans probably have ever seen him actually play. It's tough to say what he'll do because he's coming off an injury last season. He's been out with an illness for all the preseason games and the first regular season game. He'll add a dynamic piece to that bench, but it's also Jair Davis. I think he will have a big impact off the bench. I'm not sure if he'll be as big as against Lemoyne.
I think Jair Davis, again, I agree with you. I think he's going to play a good bit. But I think they're going to go with some other guys off the bench. It was interesting. Kyle Cuff Jr. didn't play at all in the Lemoyne game. I didn't really know what to think of that.
I just think there's better options. I like what Kyle Cuff brought last year. He's kind of that spark guy off the bench. He brought some energy at sometimes. And he's from Kansas, so he has experience playing at the high level, although he didn't really play much there. I just think that, Adrian Austrie must have liked what he saw better from Lucas Taylor, because Lucas Taylor played more than Kyle Cuff. Even Elijah Moore got into the game for 2 minutes. I think we need more of Elijah Moore.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore,
I think so as well.
You can't take out a shooter after one miss. You got to let him get a couple of shots up, see if it's going to fall. After one miss, you're like, all right, well, he missed his first shot. Yeah. That happens a lot of the time. You never know what's going to happen. But especially a freshman who hasn't played real minutes in the Dome, on a regular season game, give him the ball, get him a couple of shots. Don't just take him out after 2 minutes and one missed three.
It'd be great, if we could get Elijah Moore into a game when we're, handily beating a team and really, get him some minutes to really get his shot going, feel comfortable on the court. But I don't know if today I want to get Elijah Moore in the game, but it's I don't know if I want to put him in when it's a really close game.
Yeah.
Unless he's hot, unless he can get hot.
I agree. I want to see more of him, but he is a freshman, and I just don't think not that he's not deserving of that role, but we talked about the versatility of this team. We're not in need of Elijah Moore. So maybe tonight isn't the time to put him in.
I disagree completely. I think this is the perfect time to put Elijah Moore in the game. You should have played him more against Lemoyne. Somehow that was a close game. But against a Colgate team that probably isn't as good as the past couple of years after that loss to Drexel, I think Elijah Moore this is the right time to introduce Elijah Moore to Syracuse, because I think he will be a guy that Syracuse falls in love with, the community, the students, the team. He has that personality with all his social media stuff and his elbow celebration. I'm a big Elijah Moore guy. But if you play him, I think he can really, really do well for Syracuse. And these are the type of games that you want to see Elijah Moore play, because this is the opportunity, if he gets his confidence up here early against Colgate, that can carry over into ACC play once he gets better competition. Three-pointers are deadly, and if you have someone that makes a lot of them, you saw what Chris Bell can do. If you have two of those type of players, that's really, really good for Syracuse.
I was just about to say, if you're a Syracuse fan and all of a sudden Chris Bell and Elijah Moore are draining threes, you would be so excited. The Dome would be absolutely hyped if they saw that. That'd be awesome stuff right there.
But if it went downhill, I think him being a freshman, that confidence that we're talking about that we want to build would almost take a step back. I don't know if that's I don't think we need that tonight.
I don't think it's going to. I think you have to let the kid try it out. Let him have some confidence. And you saw in the preseason exhibition games, he made 3-4 threes in a game. I think you have to let him try it in the regular season, or else what's the point of having him on the team?
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
Yeah. We'll see tonight. Yeah, we'll see in just a few hours.
I got Syracuse winning. Syracuse winning big.
Really? What's your prediction, Griff?
I'm going to go 87-68.
Wow.
87-68. Wow. So you really think Syracuse can pull off a bigger win than Lemoyne?
I think they're going to spawn, and I think that's part of what Adrian Autry is so appealing to Syracuse, is he can really connect with the players, and I think after a bad win, he can motivate them, get a good win today against Colgate. Jazz, what about you?
I don't know if it's going to be that big of a win for Syracuse. I'm kind of thinking, I have this weird thing, which I don't think I've ever talked about this. I hate throwing out numbers because it's too much.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think it's going to be a
big win, or
bigger win than Lemoyne.
Bigger win than Lemoyne.
But not as big of a win as yours.
Okay.
15, 20 points.
4 to 19.
A
Between there.
little crazy.
I'm going to go with a very close win. I think they're going to take it 82 to 79.
Well, I just don't see it.
I don't know. I think Colgate's a better team than Lemoyne, quite honestly.
I think Syracuse will be a better team than they were when they played Lemoyne.
Agreed.
But I think the defense has to show that they're able to hold these teams to little points before I can trust them to give up less than 75 points or something. So
I think they will show you tonight.
I hope so, Griff. I really do.
We'll wait and see. Tip-off in the JMA Wireless Dome is at 7. Syracuse and Colgate, second game of the regular season. And Syracuse moved to 2-0. Oh, who knows? Well, we're coming up on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking Syracuse women's basketball, a little shaky game earlier over the weekend. And then NFL talk, MLB free agency news. Where's Juan Soto going to sign? We'll talk about all that and more on ESPN Radio Syracuse.
Q Sports Talk is your place to be for.
There's no shot you think that
What?
Syracuse is only going to win by 3.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Bro,
I think that's really
not
close.
good.
That is
We
way
are
too
not
close.
a good team.
Yes, they are. You just have
We're
no faith,
not.
bro.
We won by 4 against Lemoyne.
And that's
You think it's
that
gonna be a big
happens.
win?
Like, that's just. I don't know. People,
Bro, we are
I think
so bad.
you just don't know what
that?
good basketball looks like, and I think
got
tonight you're gonna see what good basketball looks like to me.
I don't want to get down.
I got you. Oh my god.
You good?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
I don't know. I just think Syracuse has what it takes. I like the direction Adrian Autry is bringing to Syracuse, or bringing at the big Syracuse.
I
the
love
head
this love that you have for Elijah Moore.
He's my,
Yeah,
he's
I
my
was like,
guy.
you trying to get that Twitter shout out or something?
Oh, okay.
I really
okay.
love his personality. You know those videos that the men's basketball Instagram posts, like the reels, and it's like the newcomers and they
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
him questions. I loved him. He was so personable.
Yeah.
He
Who?
seemed so cool.
Who?
Elijah Moore.
Oh, really?
He seemed so cool
That's
on those
dope.
reels.
I don't know him like that.
Well, we don't either. We just know him through
Hopefully
Instagram.
Yeah.
Be able to talk to him.
Maybe we'll try to get him for an interview after the season. Or during the season.
Hmm.
Maybe
Maybe.
for our last show we go out with a bang.
Maybe.
We can make that happen.
Be good. Connections. The world's all about connections.
Definitely.
Life and,
We got those.
yeah, hopefully. Dun dun dun. You guys got a busy day tonight?
Desk.
ACC show, tape 80.
Oh.
After
Nice.
that,
Are you going
I-
to ACC or desk?
ACC.
Nice.
So
after that, I have to.
I have an essay due tonight. Oh, that will have to get done.
Ooh, I don't have an essay, but I do have quite a few assignments. So
I'm gonna write my
Be back
desk
in
cast
Bird.
tonight.
Mm-hmm. We got the sports show with Cody Mack coming up. Yeah, pregame coverage after that. Fran Brown show tomorrow. Postgame.
What do you want to talk about with the Juan Soto sweepstakes?
Juan
Yeah,
Soto, Syracuse, or no, Juan
Yeah,
Juan Soto is coming to Syracuse.
Juan Soto's coming to the Syracuse Mets. No, Juan Soto is coming to the Red Sox. It's
I hope so.
Tim. You want to give? Never mind. I don't know.
Hope so.
Hope so.
That'd be crazy.
Juan Soto
We
just
might get
jump
some breaking
coast.
news
He
on
just
this,
goes to the Dodgers.
Imagine.
Do you want to take this to me? Or
Yeah,
do you
I
want me
got
to
it. I got it.
do it? Okay.
What do you guys want to talk about with like women's basketball? Like the game tomorrow against Maryland?
Yeah, I think they're gonna get
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little rough performance out of them. Well, there's this embarrassing loss to St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's not a bad team. They have a pretty good squad, but it's Syracuse. I thought they would be able to step up, but that wasn't the case. Kyra Wood did not have a good game. Verjao, 11 attempts. Verjao drained a 3. She did that a couple times last year.
Oh wait, can you put that on the side too?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's not in the shot.
are back with a fan favorite. Right now, you can purchase two $25 gift certificates to San Miguel Mexican Bar and Grill for only the price of one. San Miguel is home to delicious tacos, quesadillas, chimichangas, and award-winning margaritas. Come be part of the San Miguel family in Baldwinsville, right on the Seneca River. Double your money and support local business. Get your two $25 gift certificates for the price of one to San Miguel Mexican Bar and Grill. Only at Salt.
If we could do this one like 10 and leave.
1.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7. I'm Timmy Weiss alongside Griffin Bloomsteed and Jazeline Salinas. We got a little bit of Syracuse women's basketball to talk about. We just talked men's basketball, but the women's basketball season is off as well. They are now 1-1. Just fell to St. Joseph's over the weekend, 84-70. A little bit of a sloppy game, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. St. Joseph's, they're a good team. Just because they're not a big name doesn't mean they are not a good program. But I expected a lot more from Syracuse.
Definitely. I think we had talked about a little bit. I think the question on everyone's mind is who's going to fill that spot for Deasia Fair. We thought Georgia Woolley. This game, she kind of struggled a bit. I was kind of shocked, a little disappointed, and kind of left me to think, who else do we have to fill that position?
Yeah, and the big thing with this one was 21 turnovers. I mean, you can't give up the ball that much and expect to win games like this, especially if you're playing a solid St. Joseph squad.
And they gave up 30 in the first game. I mean, that's a big problem. You can't average 25 turnovers a game and expect to win a lot of them. They only averaged 15 last year, so 10 more per game. That's a lot. Now, I'll give credit to Niagara. They ran a full court press the entire game. St. Joseph's didn't. So it's a little different. I still think that turnovers will be a problem because you have so many different players bringing up the ball. It's not just Deasia Fair every time. But I liked what I saw from Sophie Burrows. She was 4 for 4 from 3, 14 points, but she only had 6 shots. When a player goes 4 for 4 from 3 and has 5 of 6 from the floor, I think that as a team, you need to work the ball into Sophie Burrows' hands more. I think just that when a player is hot, you got to feed the hot hand.
For sure. I think in this game, I was surprisingly shocked by Burrows. Not that I underestimated her at all, but she was a freshman last year that we saw a little bit of, but she wasn't really flashy on the court or anything. But here, it's like it was like the beginning of, I think, of a great player to come.
And there's no doubt Sophie Burrows is going to have to step up for the squad. I mean, they need people to step up. But this is her second year now. She's going to have to be a good player for this team. She had flashes of it, maybe 1 or 2 games where she showed signs that she can shoot the 3-ball and do other things in the court. But going to the game tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit of a rough one maybe. They're going against number 11 Maryland, who's a really good team.
Maryland jumped up from 18 in the rankings. So, Maryland was headlined by Angel Reese 2-3 years ago before she transferred to LSU. Syracuse almost beat Maryland last season on the road. They fell apart in the last 30 seconds. But I think this is a different Maryland team and a different Syracuse team. I think it would take a lot out of the Orange to win this one. Yeah,
I think it would take a lot, and I'm not sure they have what it takes. I don't see Syracuse pulling that win over Maryland, although anything could happen. But I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
We hope they can somehow figure out a way to compete with a great squad in Maryland. Maryland beat Duke over the weekend. That's how they jumped up from 18 to 11. Duke's one of the best teams in the ACC.
And Syracuse struggled with Duke last year with head coach Carol Lawson, former Celtics assistant coach, shout out. But Duke is a really good team. They play a really physical brand of defense. And if Maryland could beat that Duke team, it's going to be even harder for Syracuse to beat Maryland.
Well, hopefully the team can bounce back against Maryland tomorrow night. But how about we talk a little bit of NFL football? Obviously, a lot of games over the weekend. Where do some of these New York teams stand right now?
Well, I think 2 are in the same category. The Jets and Giants are both stinkers.
Stinkers is an understatement, Griffin.
the Jets and Patriots having the same record is a little alarming to Jets fans. You know, Jets, Jets is not going too well.
Yeah, I think having the same record as the Patriots at this point in the season pretty much says it all, because the Patriots are expected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
The Jets are supposed to be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, according to some Jets fans, but at least expected to be a playoff team. And you're 3-7. It's a total embarrassment.
And
It is.
The Giants are just as bad too.
Yeah, I think the Jets are being an embarrassment is a little bit of an understatement. I think they're a full disappointment for Jets fans, and to see Aaron Rodgers finally, hit this 40-year-old age, I think we're seeing the looks of old age.
Makes me smile.
Yeah, not everyone can be Tom Brady at that type of age. It's not easy at all. But on the other side of things, the Buffalo Bills are doing a lot better. But Griffin, do you believe in the Buffalo Bills? You were telling me that you're not exactly sure about them.
Griffin is not in the Bills Mafia.
I've watched the Bills play football for a while. And each year it's the same thing. Well, in the past 5 years it's been the same thing. Because before then they were really bad.
Yeah.
But in this new era of Josh Allen, it's just not going well. 8-2, yeah. That's
8-2, yeah. That's really good, yeah.
But I think my philosophy with the NFL is there's only like 4 or 5 teams that can win a Super Bowl each year, and the rest of the teams do not matter. And I just don't think the Bills have what it takes. They let go of a lot of their defensive stars. Jordan Poyer gone. I just don't think they have the talent. They're dealing with injuries. They traded Stephon Diggs. James Cook's good, yes. But I don't think the Bills have enough to get over the hump.
With an 8-2 record, you just don't
and you don't believe they are one of the 4 or 5 teams in the NFL that can win the Super Bowl?
No.
You don't think they are? So who's in your 4 or 5 teams?
The Chiefs can win it all. They've proved
Chiefs,
that.
okay.
I think the 49ers have the talent.
The 49ers have the talent with CMCB. Okay.
I think
all right.
the Ravens have a good squad, and I think they could win it all.
Okay.
And I think I like the Lions. I do.
Yep.
I like the Lions.
I think you have to put the
good
Lions
defense. They're shaky sometimes, but I think they can get it done. I just don't think Baltimore falls into that category.
Buffalo
falls into that category. Baltimore does. Baltimore.
So you're saying those are the only 4 teams you think could win the Super Bowl?
Could be blanking on another one right now, but
Commanders,
I don't
Eagles.
think so. Eagles.
I think you're not giving the Bills enough credit. Honestly.
I agree.
What have they done to prove credit?
They're 8-2.
Yeah,
their record speaks for themselves.
I think numbers speak, and here it's speaking pretty good.
I don't know.
But
I just don't think so.
To be fair, Griffin, they have a huge game coming up this weekend. They're playing the Chiefs, who are the only undefeated team in the NFL. If they beat the Chiefs this weekend, I think you have to change your perspective about them.
I would like to follow the words of former, also Syracuse alum, Nick Wright. It's Mahomes' mountain, and the Chiefs are going to stay on top, take down the Bills. Bills hater. Before we head to a quick break, Juan Soto, biggest free agent in MLB right now.
Absolutely.
Coming off a World Series loss, but he's going to get paid a lot. There are some rumored teams to be in the mix, including the Mets and the Yankees, both New York teams. They have a lot of money to spend, and they like to spend money. But the Red Sox are also in the mix. I don't know.
Every big-time team is going to be in the mix for Juan Soto. That's the bottom of the line. I mean, it's Juan Soto. You don't get the chance at a player like that every year. This is a special scenario, and he's going to get paid so much money it's not even funny.
Well,
it's not even funny.
Who knows if he'll leave the city of New York? Well, only time will tell. We're coming up on our last break here on Newhouse Afternoon. We have a fun trivia segment coming up, so stay tuned here on ESPN Radio's Syracuse 97.7.
Q Sports Talk is your place to be for Syracuse football all year long. Don't miss a word from Fran.
We are
Big time.
Oh, no. Jordan, I'm so sorry in advance. So sorry.
Jordan, can you put this on the Instagram?
No, please do not.
It's going to help. Last week
Oh, my God. The hairnet. Oh my God. They're laughing. Nice.
Can you push it down? I feel bad, but I'm like,
I can't even see.
wait, look at
We just got started.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
This is awful.
This is great.
Awful. Does it look good?
Let me see the bangs.
Yeah, it looks great.
No, you have to keep the bangs in the front. Okay, so we'll like split it. Maybe.
I don't like the split. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want the bangs?
My face looks. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, you can't hold the hair from there because it's like longer.
Yeah.
Bro, it looks real.
Alright, just no Instagram pics this time.
Nice. Run it back.
No, do not run it back.
We just need one more week, and then I don't have to wear the wig.
I know. Oh shoot, I almost
more
pulled
time.
up my trivia up here. Let's do my phone.
I haven't studied.
She said she doesn't want to play.
Yeah, we set that. I
We
think
just like
after
decided to chill.
I think after like the second show, I was like, wait, if we're doing wig as a punishment, it's not really a punishment for me. So let's. Then they just never spoke up. So
That'll change next semester maybe.
next semester maybe we'll do a different punishment.
Yeah, and we'll punish
Move
you.
this around.
This is not gonna last. Like next for our last show, Timmy will be wearing a wig.
It's not happening. We need one more week. We can do it. We're so close.
Dude, it's like itchy.
It's multiple choice, so.
Itchy.
Yeah, that's right. It is multiple choice. So.
Oh, this is just amazing. That would be.
What did you say? Oh yeah, we talked about
yeah,
it. It was
we
hilarious.
mentioned that earlier.
No context.
Wait, what did Jordan
Insane.
say?
It said, well, this has to be on no context college football, but that's just not gonna happen.
I wish. That'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, just like the Fran Brown clip was. All right.
Aren't there tours going down or not?
Yeah, there were.
Is there actually?
there were
Probably
a lot of
soon.
tours today. We're having friends walk by and take pictures. It's just so amazing. Oh, so amazing. Oh, and just get pictures from texts from my family.
I
saying
hope
I
that
look-
goes to the franchise. Griffin.
This one is so cute.
Oh, sorry.
Am I bringing it in?
Yeah,
You sure?
And then you take it out?
Yeah.
sure.
And next time somebody walks by, make aggressive eye contact.
It's getting in my eye.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7. And we're wrapping it up, Jaslene Salinas with Timmy Weiss and Griffin Bloomstein. And Griffin, you got a new look today.
Well, a new look per se. As the loser of trivia.
Yeah, say it louder. Say it again.
Loser.
As the person that did trivia fair and square and did not win, I have to wear a wig for the second week in a row.
That's right. But
Second week in a row, and I have not had to wear the wig yet.
All
Let's
semester.
see if we can keep that going. We have one more opportunity here. Jazz is going to give us
Yeah.
these final trivia
Yeah.
questions. I'm excited.
we have 7 questions about Syracuse men's basketball. We're going to be taking it back to the 90s, transitioning to the 2000s, up until the present day roster. And this week, we're not doing numerical values, all right? I'm giving you guys multiple choice. So even if you don't know, as Griffin would say, choose C. Is that right?
Yep, that's
Right.
what I said.
Griffin
That's
does
what I
All
like
right,
to say
so
that.
we'll get into the first question. It's a little bit of a little
Remember,
bit different.
write your answers down, Griffin. Don't cheat.
I'm not.
No cheating. That's right. You got to write your answers down. First question. I led the team to the 1965 Final Four and went on to a lengthy and successful NBA career. Am I A, Jim Lee, B, Dave Bing, or C, Jim Boeheim?
Okay, I have my answer.
I have my answer.
Who do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
You go
It's Mr. Dave Bing.
So said B.
Awesome.
Dave Bing.
Cool.
Yep.
There we go.
All right, 1 for 1.
Easy.
1 for 1.
All right. Cool.
Second
that.
question. Who led Syracuse in scoring during the 1986-87 season?
Okay.
Is it A, Sherman Douglas, B, Billy Owens, or C, Dave Johnson?
I'll say my answer. I'm not sure on this one. I said A.
Well, I was thinking about it. I'll go. I do think it's A. I'll go B for the fun of it. Billy Owens.
It is A. It is Sherman
Yes,
Douglas.
Come on.
You should have gone for the fun
Well, I
of it.
wasn't-
Stick to it.
Yeah, just stick
it.
to your guts.
All right.
Don't gotta be
Question
scared.
3. In the 1996 tournament, who did Syracuse beat in overtime in their regional game in Denver? Is it A, Duke, B, Georgia, or C, Mississippi State?
I'm gonna go C, Mississippi State.
I'm going to go A. Duke.
You guys are both wrong.
It was
It's B, Georgia.
Oh.
Wow.
I guess I
right.
the draw.
All right.
Okay, moving
I still
on.
got
moving
1
on.
on a lead. Still got a 1 on a lead.
All right, let's
All
bring
right.
it back to
All right.
today's roster. What player from the current team is not originally from the United States? Is it A, Elijah Moore, B, Eddie Lampkin, or C, Donnie Freeman?
I know the answer.
Actually, not 100% sure,
right,
but I
Timmy?
think I know the answer. I said B, Eddie Lampkin.
Nope. It's C, Donnie
It
Freeman.
is Donnie
Where's he
Freeman.
from?
He's from the Bahamas.
He is?
Played
Yes.
for the national team.
Oh, my.
Yes.
I knew that.
Yes,
Now that I
no
think of it,
worries.
'cause he
No
played,
worries.
yep.
So what is that, 2-2?
1-1.
well,
They're tied.
Or-
Tie.
All right. Sticking to today's roster, what 2 players have a podcast called the Biggest College Basketball Podcast? Is it A, Eddie Lampkin and Kyle Cuff, B, Elijah Moore and Eddie Lampkin, or C, Chance Westry and Elijah Moore?
I know the answer.
I'm not sure if I know the answer here, but I'm
Alright.
going B.
B?
I'm going B also. It's Elijah Moore.
It
and
is
Eddie Lampkin.
Elijah Moore and Eddie
Okay,
Lampkin.
that's what I thought. I knew Elijah Moore would be in there. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure about Eddie Lampkin, but
Yeah.
he's in there.
There we go. Okay.
This is the last question.
So we got how many questions left?
We have 2 more.
Okay,
2
okay.
more. All right.
Or actually,
This is the.
yeah, 2 more.
I don't think it's ever gone this down
I
to
know,
the wire with
I
me and
know.
Griffin. Like this is a battle here.
Okay, let's take it easy.
What team did Syracuse play when they dedicated the floor of the dome and named it the Jim Boeheim Court in 2002? A, Connecticut, B, Georgetown, C, Villanova, or D, Miami?
Can you repeat it really
Can you
quick?
repeat
Yeah.
those?
What team did Syracuse play when they dedicated the floor of the dome and named it the Jim Boeheim Court in 2002? A, Connecticut, B, Georgetown, C, Villanova, or D, Miami?
All right, Timmy, what's your guess?
C. Villanova.
I'm gonna go B, Georgetown.
Griff, you take the win today.
No. We have another question, right?
But I fear we're losing that.
You're
losing
kidding.
time.
No, this is crazy.
No. We have time. Let's
Okay.
go. I don't cheat the system.
Yep,
I don't
you
cheat.
have
Okay.
I'm like
I don't
Timmy.
either. I don't
I'm like
either.
Timmy. I don't.
We got
cheat.
another question.
Let's
Go,
another
go.
question.
Go.
How far did the 2009-2010 Orange basketball team make it into the NCAA tournament? A, Sweet 16, B, Final Four, or C, Elite 8?
What year was it again?
2009-2010.
All right, I got my answer.
All right, Sweet 16.
Elite 8.
It is the Sweet 16.
Yes.
All right,
Come
we're
on.
tied
This
up.
is a draw.
Well,
We might have to settle this off of the show.
Rochambeau real quick.
All right, little rock, paper, scissors action.
Tie. Oh, Griffin takes it. Griffin takes it.
All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in on Newhouse Afternoon. We got one more show up in 2 weeks. For Griffin Bluestein, Jaslyn Salinas, Timmy Weiss. See you next time.
This is Orange.